Okay, so we want to distribute first before I add them. Okay, so I'm going to go 4z times z, and 4z times negative 5, and 5z times 2z, sorry, which is 10z squared, and 5z times negative 3, negative 15z. So that's my numerator now, once I do that. Now, sometimes you might have two binomials, then you have to FOIL them, right? And you'll have, 4 terms and 4 terms, and then now we're going to combine all the like terms to make it one fraction. So once we have our common denominator, we don't mess with it. Not till the end here, once we add or subtract. We're just going to keep it the same. And then we can combine our like terms. The 4z squared plus the 10z squared is 14z squared. And the negative 20z minus 15z is a negative 35z. Okay? Now is when you can try to factor the numerator. Okay? I told you, for addition and subtraction. Just addition and subtraction. Don't factor any numerators until you get to this point. Until you do your addition or your subtraction. Then you can try to simplify your fraction, your answer, to lowest terms like we did Monday. Okay? If it's just simplifying a fraction or multiplying and dividing a fraction, then you factor everything and cancel factors. But for addition and subtraction, okay? And I told every class this, but then when they started doing their practice quiz, they were trying to factor some. When we got to the addition subtraction ones, they were trying to factor from the beginning the numerator. Don't do anything in the numerator, remember? Figure out the common denominator, multiply the numerators. Whatever you need to multiply. Distribute or FOIL, whatever you need to do. Add and subtract like terms. Get it to one fraction. Then look at your numerator to see if you can factor it. So in this problem, what can I factor for that numerator? Yeah, 7c is a GCF, right? And 14z squared divided by 7z is 2z. And negative 35z divided by 7z is negative 5. Are any of the factors the same that I could cancel? None of them are the same. But I need to check that. So either one, if you have the 14z squared minus 35z over this, or if you have it factored over this, either answer I would accept. But we always got to check that, because there could be a time that there is a factor in the top and the bottom that we could cancel and reduce to simplify it some more. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay, so if there's no factoring being able to do, at all in the start, we couldn't factor anything to start. We just write the two denominators down as our common denominator. Change our numerators, multiply, add, or subtract, whatever it is. This one was add. Finish it up. Okay, we did 24 to 42. 24 and 27 were really easy because they already had the common denominator, right? So for 24, you got 8t over 4t, but that would reduce. Because I divide 8 divided by 4 and get 2, and the t's would cancel, so it's just 2. For 27, you're just going to subtract 2y from 5y to get 3y, and you subtract negative 3 from negative 7, you get negative 4. So 3y minus 4 is the numerator, and then y plus 4 is our denominator. So 24 and 27, pretty easy. 30 was like this one. Okay, you couldn't factor either denominator, so you write them both down. So then you had to FOIL. And then you had to subtract. Okay, and when you combine like terms, you get this for the numerator. Negative 3y squared plus 3y plus 8 is the numerator. And the denominator then is 3y plus 1 and y minus 3. Anybody need to see that one? Okay, 33. They mixed addition with multiplication in there. What do you do first? Addition or multiplication? What do you do first? Multiplication, right? So what you should do is multiply the two back, the second and the third fraction first. So factor, you can factor the numerator then of that second one. That's the only thing you can factor. And then you get an answer, and then you can add them by getting your common denominator. And the answer is 2x minus 1 times x plus 5 for the numerator, and x times x minus 5 for the denominator. For 36, the same type of deal, but it was division. So when you divide the second fraction by the third fraction, you got to change it to multiplying by the reciprocal of the third one. So you could factor the p squared minus p minus 12, which would be p minus 4 times p plus 3. So the p minus 4 is cancel. And then you got a p times p plus 3 over p plus 3 again, I guess. Or p times p plus 2, sorry. Anyway, then you got a p plus 5 and a p plus 2 as your common denominator, and then you're done. You get this. P times the quantity. P squared plus 9p plus 17, all over p plus 5 times p plus 2. Like I told you already, the homework's always tougher than the practice quiz or the quiz. I'm not going to give you a problem like 33 or 36, okay, on your quiz. But you still should be able to handle something like that. 39, you got to do it in parentheses first. So you got to do 1 plus 2 over x. Get that answer, which would be x plus 2 over x. And then you got to do 3 minus 1 over x, which would be 3x minus 1 over x. And then you multiply those two. So the answer is x plus 2 times x, or times 3x minus 1 for the top, and then x times x will be x squared for your denominator. Anybody need to see 33, 36, or 39? Okay, 42, I want to go over with you just to make sure we understand the complex fractions. So we have 3 minus 2 over 8. So it's a subtraction problem. Divided by 5 plus 3 over a, an addition problem. Okay, so when it's like this, when you see a fraction, that fraction bar is like a grouping symbol. It means that you're going to do this problem first, this problem second. You're going to divide at the end. So it's like putting it's like a grouping. It's like parentheses have been put around those. They just don't write them. Okay. Because usually we say do division before you do subtraction or addition, right? But you've got to figure out what this fraction is first, then this fraction, and then you can multiply by the reciprocal for your complex. Okay, so remember, I could write 3 as 3 over 1, and 5 is 5 over 1, right? So what can I factor either denominator? No? So I write them both down, right? Well, when I write 1 and a down, what do I get? I just get a, don't I? You're supposed to multiply them together. So it was a 1, I multiplied by a, so I got to multiply the 3 by a. And it was a, and it's still a, so nothing changes there. So this fraction is 3a minus 2 over a. There's no like terms there, so you just have to write it down. And then we'll just make a blue here. division bar. And then the same thing's gonna happen with this one. You're gonna use A as our common denominator, because all you see is a 1 and an A. And I multiplied 1 by A, so I can multiply 5 by A. Here I just multiplied by 1, 3 times 1 is 3. So I get 5A plus 3 over A. So from this fraction, now it looks like this fraction. Okay? That makes sense? And then what we talked about yesterday with these complex fractions is we take the top one as it is, and we multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom one, so we flip it. So it looks like that. Is there anything I can factor right now? No. Are there any factors that I could cancel right now? The A's, yeah, the ones that are alone. This one and this one. And I can't cancel this A with that one because we got the minus with it and the plus with it, all right? So our answer is 3A minus 2 for our numerator, and the 5A plus 3 for our denominator. So, Monday we simplified fractions, or we call these rational expressions. We multiplied them, we divided them. And then yesterday we added them, subtracted them, and did a couple of complex ones. That's all it's going to be on the quiz, with that kind of stuff. You have the rest of the period, about, what do we got, about 20 minutes? 25 minutes? To work on the practice quiz. It's only 6 problems. Okay? So, you can do that, and you can get it done. If you get stuck, help each other out, or ask me, I'll help you. And then we'll go over tomorrow, and the quiz will be Friday. I'm going to give it to you. I have a copy of it for you. Yeah. You guys are looking at the text and looking at those while I'm talking, are you? I didn't think so. You guys would never do that. Faster like that.
Apparently on Friday, it's supposed to be like super cold.
That's crazy for the game.
There's 2 there, I think.
Like,
Is it like pajama pants type of feet or like, I don't know. I don't know how cold it is.
paying attention?
Get that blood.
You know, it's kind of clutch, man. Oh, yeah, okay. I said,
Pretty good.
probably a high of 65.
You're gonna be good again.
It's a high of 65. So it's pajama pants type heat. It's supposed to be like 40 degrees.